Oh, absolutely, yeah. I've passed a million of them myself. I burned a bunch. So do you know about the detention? Oh, awesome.
Yes, I do.
I never thought of
the
FEMA detention. Do you know about the gas chamber?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Do you know about the trains? The double-decker trains? Oh, you're all okay.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about it, sure.
Is this just for you, or is it
It's for me.
Okay, cool.
Just for whatever, yeah.
Yeah, he knows about it too. There's double-decker trains that have been built by Gunderson Steel, 300,000 of them. They're double-decker trains with nothing but benches and chains and shackles, and they're highly vented on the sides for air passage, because all they're going to do is roll these trains into these detention camp chambers, gas people, get them out, roll the next train in, and just
It's sick.
It's very sick.
Really sick.
And they said they can process 26,000 people every hour, or every 24 hours, or something like that.
Wow.
It's insane.
Well, it's people like you that are making a difference. Thank you for making this information out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet, buddy.
Thanks.
You bet.
Nice to meet you.
Controversial detention center operated by Homeland Security is being accused of human rights violations. Today, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency allowed the news media to take a look inside the Family Detention Center in Taylor for the very first time. CBS 42's Keith Elkins joins us live. Keith, what did the detainees say about these alleged abuses?
Well, Judy, they were not allowed to talk to us, and we were not allowed to question them. Today's media tour was more of a PR blitz by the federal government to try to shine the brightest light possible on an issue that seems to be turning darker. On the surface, daily operations at this residential detention center do appear family-friendly. The facility is clean, freshly painted, and entire families are kept together instead of being split apart. But the American Civil Liberties Union claims there's a darker side that was hidden from our cameras.
This is not a place for children. These are children who've committed absolutely no crime who are now basically in a prison, wearing prison garb every day.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials disagree. They say complaints have been few, insist no one is being forced to wear prison uniforms or locked inside their rooms or punished in any way. But by detaining entire families, ending the government's previous policy of simply catching and releasing at the border, they insist is working.
Now that people know if they come in as a family group illegally, they will be detained, that's deterring people from attempting to come in, just like we're seeing an overall drop in illegal entrance along the southwest border because we have ended catch and release.
Even so, they do admit trying to accommodate detainees from 28 different countries with a majority population made up of kids is challenging. This residential center opened up in May of last year, and at this time about 175 children are being held behind these prison gates, and also there's about 75 families that are seeking political asylum to try to remain in this country. On the average, we're being told that everybody that come here stays about 40 days. We're live in Taylor. Keith Elkins, CBS 42 News.
If you power down your cell phone, there's no way the government could ever hear you. Certainly not the FBI. It's turned off, right? Have we got news for you? All right, here's that cell phone story you've been waiting for. Cell phone users beware, Big Brother may be listening. The Federal Bureau of Investigation can now hear everything you say, even when the cell phone is turned off. I know it sounds kind of out there, but using your phone's tracking device, authorities can now activate the microphone inside the dreaded thing, allowing them to eavesdrop on you and your conversations. Serious business, and the FBI used this form of surveillance to keep tabs on critical conversations by people they call known members of the mafia. Experts say the only way around it is to take the battery out of the thing.
Consumer news tonight: when it comes to meat, the USDA seal is required to prove that the meat has been inspected by a federal agency.
But what many consumers may not know is that some meat has actually been treated with carbon monoxide gas in order to keep it looking fresh for weeks. Kitty Pilgrim has more.
Red, fresh meat, or is it? Congressional hearings pointed to the pitfalls of treating meat with carbon monoxide.
Treating meat with carbon monoxide allows the meat to keep its freshly ground red color, even though the meat may have spoiled. I have a picture on the screen. There's 2 packages of ground meat that were left out at room temperature for 27 hours. You can see the one which was treated with carbon monoxide looks fresh and red, while the other meat has turned brown and quite nasty looking.
Congressman Stupak and Congressman Ed Markey have introduced legislation that would require meat treated with carbon monoxide to be labeled so the consumer would know. According to the industry, 2/3 of all meat and chicken is no longer cut by a butcher in front of customers or in back of the supermarket case. Now, pre-packaged, case-ready meat is prepared off-site at large distributors and then shipped to supermarkets. The carbon monoxide treatment keeps meat looking fresh in that process. Food experts say a pound of ground beef cut by a butcher goes brown in 4 to 5 days. But meat treated with carbon monoxide by a meat packer can stay looking fresh for weeks. It's the same with imported seafood. Congressman Stupak says his subcommittee tested seafood from China and Vietnam treated with carbon monoxide. 20% turned out to be bad and was refused.
It's a problem because consumers aren't informed about how meat is treated. The meat is being treated with chemicals so that it's going to look like it's fresher than it is. I think consumers have a right to know how fresh their meat is.
Industry representatives of large meat packers say the additive is harmless, and it's easy to tell when the product goes bad. Kitty Pilgrim, CNN.